The big topics over the last few weeks have been referees for one and World Cups for another, with England doing so well qualifying. We're in good company here tonight. We've got Philip Don, ex-referee. He's also done the World Cup in America. We've got Gary Shaw, ex-England and Aston Villa. Robbie Savage, ex-pin-up, Leicester City.
What do you mean
and
ex?
Wales.
What do you mean ex?
And ex-footballer Gary Bennett. and Tony Bennett look-alike. But getting on to the World Cup, England doing so well, Gary.
Yeah.
Like they've been there, right?
Yeah, I'd love to have had the opportunity to play in the World Cup. I mean, I missed out just in '82. Very close in '82, and I was very young. But it's be a fantastic opportunity for the guys who are going to go there, and I'm sure they'll all be, fighting desperately to retain their form, and the outsiders to try and get in the squad. Fantastic, and being so close as well, be very well supported, no doubt.
And Rob?
Well, Wales, Vinnie, we haven't qualified for World Cup now since 1952, I don't think. Had Leicester, Sparky, Dean Saunders.
Well, that is a problem. Everyone says, isn't it? Wales have got the players.
Yeah,
well, they had them, but they're getting rid of them.
Speak for yourself. Yeah.
We've got the likes of him taking over me, sure. Bloody hell, have I got?
What do you think? Do you think he's good enough to take over your
No, but when they say obviously
Bennett, you must have been close to a Welsh cat though, with a name like Bennett.
No, Jamaica. We're going there with Jamaica, so what can I say? We're better than Wales, ain't we?
This same as Fash. This is what Fash
It's a Welsh name, isn't it?
When England were doing well, Fash was the big England man, and Nigeria, and
yeah, they changed it. And he's West Indies when the cricket comes round.
Well, obviously, I'm Australian when the rugby comes round.
What about Wales? What about Wales with the players they've got?
It's a pity because they've got top class players, and it's the pity they can't get to the World Cup. They've missed out a few times, but these things do happen, and it's like you say, you got Sparky, Rushy, yourself. Well, you say yourself.
Is out now?
But it's a pity, and like you say, you got other countries now are catching you up and taking you over. Like you say, Jamaica, you noticed, and you got Nigeria and other countries like that have come up to you and passing you and going to the World Cup.
Samoa, the Wales now, aren't they then?
I don't know. Well, don't get into it anyway. Somebody has been to a World Cup, Philip. What is it like?
Well, it was fantastic. I spent a week at Easter in Dallas where we were training and we had the course, and it wasn't until the end of that week that I knew I was actually going back, because they took 30 referees and only 24 were going to be invited for the World Cup.
It was a big test sort of thing,
It was tests. You had 2 fitness tests, you had a full medical, you went through the laws of the game, and then at the end of that week we were told we'd know within 2 days. It was literally a fortnight later when I got a letter saying I was going. When I went to Dallas on 12th of June, we were based in Dallas for the 5 weeks, and it was a fantastic experience. But again, referees were put under a lot of pressure. Every day we had seminars, and you looked at the videos of the previous day's games, and if a referee hadn't cautioned or hadn't sent off, then he was told about it. And on a couple of occasions they actually said to referees, in your first game you cautioned 6, you issued 1 red card, why only 3 yellows in your second? We want more cards, we want more penalties. And the reason they did the penalty one was because in the qualifying competition they analysed every game, and the referees only awarded 1 penalty in every 3 games. And we were told that there must be more penal offences committed, and therefore they wanted more goals, they wanted more penalties.
Why is that though? Why is that?
Well, because we felt we were under pressure, because if we hadn't performed how FIFA wanted, we'd have been sent home. Because halfway through the tournament, they cut the list from 24 referees to 9 referees. Fortunately, I stayed on and I refereed a quarter-final.
What are you trying to say?
But you must be going against your beliefs, really, Philip, in a way, because, I mean, surely a referee, a good referee, from the player's point of view, is one that's, like, not noticed and one that's just, doesn't have to make rash decisions in any way. I mean, that's what the players say, what a good game, the referee. It's always judged on, he hasn't, he's not been over the top with his decision-making. I think the point you make there is probably down to the fact that being held in America, you know, it had to be seen to be a big, you know, a big spectacle.
And
Decisions had to be
yeah.
made, and you can't just go through a game without something,
Yeah.
you know, irrational happening. I think whether it be from a player or from a referee.
There's that point about FIFA wanted it to be the biggest spectacle in the world, and they think France will be even bigger than the States. The other point is, you've got, because it is a World Cup, you've got referees from countries like Mauritius, Australia, Japan. The guy from Mauritius had never refereed in front of more than 3,000, and he did the States and Russia.
Did when we were there. When they saw Bennett perform, they all left.
But he then refereed in front of 74,000. So you can imagine he had difficulty in coping with that pressure, and he actually only ended up refereeing the one game.
Yeah, but a penalty is a penalty. So
It is.
If they have a go at you saying that you're not giving enough penalties, who's right or wrong here? If you're not doing, giving the right decisions.
Say on a Saturday now, Phil, if say someone goes over and you think he's dived,
Yeah.
if you think that out there, then you're saying you'd have to give the pen.
No, if I thought he'd died, I'd caution him, because we were told also we had to caution players who feigned injury or tried to get other players cautioned or sent off.
I can't understand being FIFA saying you should be giving more penalties or things like that. They must think that the decision is wrong, what you're making.
They were saying that in the qualifying competition, only one penalty was given in every 3 games. They're saying, come on, chaps, there must be more penalty offences, and you're turning a blind eye to
That's
it.
Americans, though, isn't it? They want action, they want goals, don't they?
They want-
I mean,
yeah,
shootouts and
that's it.
everything. But
The
we thought about
It was to do with the entertainment.
What about
was it.
what about Euro? I know, obviously, getting there and getting picked, I think, is good for you, same as us, getting picked.
That's
and
right.
playing it.
That's right.
What are the other benefits, like the money and all that? I mean, did you end up, because the referee for the Holyfield Tyson fight,
Yeah.
10 grand he got. Is it 10 grand he got?
Right.
10 grand.
Yeah. Well, if I tell you that for the week at Easter when I was in America, and the 5 weeks I was off school in June and July, I had to take unpaid leave from school. So I didn't.
I got some new suits.
Yeah, but from my job as a head teacher, I actually had to take unpaid leave. Any time I went abroad, I lost out.
What, they don't pay you?
You get a daily allowance when you go abroad. You don't get a match fee. And
Well, we're just come back in a minute. We're just going to have a whip round for Philip. We'll see you back in a minute. Referees with Philip. We're still on with World Cups with Gary, and with Robbie, and with Bennett. One thing we've heard about, and obviously they probably want to do it, but what about women referees, Philip? Will they come in?
yeah, I was. Well, there's one on the Premier League line at the moment, and she referees on the conference. I mean, my view is that, as in athletics, women are becoming fitter, they're becoming faster, because my worry was that women wouldn't be able to keep up with the game. Clearly, with techniques and fitness training and so on now, they are certainly more fitter. My own personal opinion is I think the game should be, for men, should be refereed by men. That is my personal opinion.
How would you go on?
That's a very sexist viewpoint, isn't
That
it,
is my
Philip? Yeah.
personal opinion.
How would you go on being told off by a woman? He's
I've
had all
never
his
done a
life.
few
He's had all his life, Benno's been told
I'm
off.
quite used to that. Quite used to that. No, I think there's a room for them. Yeah, I mean we've got officialdom involving women at the moment, and I can see a day when women are going to come in now. Whether how that's going to affect the players and their concentration levels.
Robbo, you're struggling when you're wrong.
Referees. I think one was on the lane.
Fancying me. The ref fancies me. Yeah, discrimination. They can come in though.
I mean,
Ask for my name, but she asked for my phone number too.
see, all clubs now have to have a separate dressing room. For Wendy Toms, when she's lining at the Football League, Premier League, or refereeing on the conference, she has to have a separate dressing room to what her colleagues.
We had one the other day, and I did wonder.
Wendy
because-
Toms, yeah.
What, on the line?
Yeah, she has to have a separate
Looking
dressing
for the
room.
wrong key holding.
So there is that practicality, which I mean, obviously all the clubs can get over. But I think at the top level, then all credit to if she can make it, because she's only one step away from the Football League list of referees. But my personal opinion is that the game should be refereed by men.
I think so as well, because if you say certain things in the harsh of the moment, you say swear, you say this and that, how's she going to take it? Because sometimes you're playing there and a decision goes against you and you eat it and you go, oh yeah, and you say referee, and what are you going to say, silly this, silly that?
No,
You know what I mean? How's she going to take it?
She's very thick-skinned. I mean, she will apply the laws basically as they are written, and just as somebody might say, well, what did you say? Pardon, don't say it again, clear off. She would do exactly the same because she will have built up a rapport with the players.
Yeah, but you're going to get all kind of remarks.
Do you? Can you build a rapport with players?
Because of her sex, you're going to get all kinds of remarks. Some she's going to like and some she's not going to like. She's going to laugh at some she's going to take to heart.
The crowd are going to single her out as well.
The crowd are going to be more of a problem than the players, I think, at that level. Just as when your early days, you must have had the problem about your race. And maybe she's going through the same now with her gender, in terms of the comments that have been made to her.
We don't want to start getting on the women's problems anyway. Would you, honestly, if you could turn everything back and have one wish, would it be to be a professional referee? Would you have liked to have been a professional referee?
A full-time professional referee,
Yeah.
because the referees who referee at the top level now are professional. Make no bones about it. They give up 20 to 30 hours a week to football, whether it's training, travelling to matches,
Well, I do that with
refereeing.
my dog, but I
Yeah,
don't mean I'm a
fine.
professional dog walker.
But do you want to...
You've got other jobs.
Yeah.
You're a headmaster.
Fine. Had I have been given the opportunity
train every day
five,
and-
6 years ago, and somebody said to me, you can become a full-time professional referee, I would have jumped at it. Had the conditions been right. See, at the moment, referees on the Football League and the Premier League are on a one-year contract. I couldn't afford to give up my job as a head teacher for a one-year contract. You'd have to give me a 4 or a 5 year contract. You'd have to make it worthwhile. You'd have to look what then happens at the end of that 5 years. I couldn't then go back into teaching as a head teacher, just as Gerald Ashby couldn't go back in as an accountant.
You could if it was personal and if they had pensions and things like.
Oh, if they had
like
pensions, life
like we do,
insurance
yeah.
plans, everything else, then say 5 years ago, I would have jumped at the chance, because we were given a questionnaire to fill in, certain of us, by the Football League as it was before the Premier League, and the salaries that we were looking at ranged from about 20 to 70,000 a year, plus all the perks and everything else. And a group of us would have taken it on had we been given the opportunity. Yeah.
Do you think sometimes it's all taken too serious?
I certainly do at the moment, because you
Do you go what you see, go watching the telly and that?
You know, the funny side has gone out of football now. I mean, you don't get the characters, do you? I think there's a lack of them now. And I say referees, they don't. It's difficult to have that rapport with referees at the moment, you know, and they're very harsh making decisions. They can't. There's no tackling.
What were the
from
good referees in
behind.
your day, then?
Well, you go back to the likes of Jack Taylor. I mean, you know, I thought he was an excellent referee. I mean, he had a World Cup final, didn't he? Germany, Holland.
European
Just
Cup
shows
final.
how. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
the one. He was the main man, wasn't he? He was the
That's
top
right,
guy
that's right.
at that time.
Clive Thomas, he was
Clive Thomas.
But he put referees on the map, really, Clive Thomas, didn't he?
Yeah, but did he put them on the map for the right
For the right
reasons?
reasons. I don't know, Vin.
I mean,
thought for the wrong
you've
reasons
all said
themselves
here,
to
a
a
good
degree.
referee, you go to a game, and at the end of it you say, who refereed the game? And that's how it should be, really. But I think because of the television these days, when you go to a Sky game, you've got at least 15 cameras at any Sky game, and every decision is dissected, it's slow motion, video replay, and everything. And I think the referees are under a lot of pressure, and I will make the point that if I made as many mistakes in a match as you make, I'd be off the list at the end of the
I've
year.
only played one in 12 years.
Yeah. But if you analyse players and the number of mistakes, missed time tackles, missed passes that they make in a game, if a referee made as many mistakes as that, he'd be off the list at the end of the year.
He's been transferred so many times.
And what about the camera in the sky that they could just... Andy Gray does it quick enough.
That's right.
Why can't they do it and have a little
why,
headphone?
but what? Again, you've got the referee's opinion. I think in terms
Opinions aren't enough now with the money involved.
in
now,
terms
I
of
feel.
fact, you have a camera on the goal line. Nobody would disagree with that. Every referee would thank you if you could have a camera on the goal line to see whether the ball goes over the line, because that's fact. But at the moment, the laws are all about opinion. And if I'm refereeing a game and I'm not certain, ask the guy in the stand, then you're then transferring the opinion of the referee to the opinion of the guy watching the video.
Well, we could be here forever on that. I'd like
Of course we could.
Phil, thanks for coming and being so
Thank
honest
you.
with us tonight. and all the lads, Rob, Gal, Bello.